Here we are in the land of Ugg, where they use the base 8 system instead of the base 10 system that we use on Earth. So the first thing we need to know about the base 8 system is how to count in base 8. So in base 8, we start off with 0, then we go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we stop at 7. Then we do not do 8, 9, 10. There is no 8, there is no 9. We never use 8 and we never use 9. So when we get 7, we skip ahead to the next number that follows with a 0. So we do 7 and then 1, 0. It's not 10, it is written as 10, but we explain it as 1, 0. And then we start from there. We do 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7. And now that we're at 7, we skip to the next number that has a 0 following it. And we do 2, 0. And then we continue on to 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7. We're at a 7. So we skip ahead to 3, 0. 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. 4, 0. 3, 7 to 4, 0. 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 4, 6, 4, 7. We're at 4, 7, so we skip ahead to 5, 0. 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 5, 7. 6, 0. 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7. 7, 0. 7, 1, 7, 2, 7, 3, 7, 4, 7, 5, 7, 6, and 7, 7. Now we're going to stop at 7, 7, but the next number in line would be 8, 0. We're skipping ahead to the next number that has a 0 following it after we get to each 7 in the sequence. Now we're going to talk about adding in base 8. So our first problem that we have in base 8 is 57 plus 45. So just like in base 10, we add down. So 7 plus 5. So right here I've drawn out a number line for us written in base 8. You see I went to 7, then I went to 1, 0. So on our number line, we're going to start off at 7. We're going to go forward 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that lands us at 14. So just like we would if we were counting in base 8, we put the 4 below and the 1, we carry the 1 over to the next one. So again, we just add down. So we start at 5 and then we count 4 over. 1, 2, 3, 4, which lands us at 1, 1. And then we add that 1 from the 1, 4, and then we get 1, 2. So we put that down, and then we have our answer. 124, but we're not done. We have to add 8. We have to add the word 8 so we know it's in base 8. 124, 8. We write the number out. We just don't put 8. So next we're going to do a subtraction problem. So again, I wrote the number line out. It's just easier visually the first couple of times to do it. And again, I wrote it in base 8, not base 10. So you can see when I got to 7, I went to 1, 0. And then I stopped at 17, but my next number would have been 2, 0. So for this one, just like in base 10, we would have to regroup or borrow from the previous number if the top number is too little to subtract out of. So our first, we subtract downward. So 2 minus 5, we can't have a negative, so we borrow from the 3. So we borrow 1 from the 3, so that makes that a 2. Now instead of adding 1 onto the 2, adding a whole onto the 2 and making it a 3, we just add a 1, and that makes it a 12. Or a 1, 2, rather, in base 8. A 12 in base 10, a 1, 2 in base 8. So now we have 1, 2 minus 5. So we're going to start at the 1, 2. We're going to subtract 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we end up at 5 for that answer. Now we have 2 minus 7. Well, we're going to have to regroup again. So we take 1 from the 4, which ends up making it a 3, and then we add 1 onto the 2, but we do not add it to the 2, we add it onto. So that makes it a 1, 2 rather than a 3. Like it would be if we were doing this in base 10. So again, we start off at the 1, 2, and this time we're subtracting 7 instead of 5. So we go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this time we end up at 3. And then we subtract the last numbers, which are 3 minus 2. That doesn't give us a negative, so we can do that regularly like we would in base 10, and that gives us 1. So our answer is 135, 8. We always have to remember to add the 8 on the bottom so we know what base we're talking about. Now the next problem we're going to do is we are going to do a multiplication problem. Now this one is a little trickier. So just for this example, I have gone and I have written out a base 8 multiplication table. Now you will not be able to do this for every problem, multiplication problem you come across, because that would take various amounts of time. But for this demonstration, we are going to use this table. So we would multiply this just like we would in base 10. We multiply down. So 2 and 7. So we go to the 2 and we go down 7. And that is 16. So we put the 6 under and we carry the 1. And then we cross multiply 5 times 7. So we go to the 5, and we go down to 7, which is 43. So 43. And then we do the same thing. So 2 times 3, 2 times 3, which is 6. And then 5 times 3, so 5, and then go down to 3, which is 17. And then we add these numbers together. So 6 plus 6 is 12. 3 plus 1 is 4. Then plus 7, 11. 4 plus 1 is 5. Then we add that one on is 6. So our answer would be 612 in base 8.